From the Sugar Shack Studios in Houston, Texas, USA, it's the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Ford Mustang. No, it's wrong. What? We did that last week.
Yeah.
I obviously had some sort of brain hemorrhage at the moment that I was going to write that. Alex Kwanten, U.S. News and World Report, top trends shaping the automotive industry this year.
Cool.
I forgot to hit the save button. That's what it was.
Right.
So we're going to talk to him. And also, we're going to have the cruise-in and events calendars and some of the stories making automotive news headlines this week. I hope I get this right. Welcome to the InWheelTime Show, everybody. There's Mike Mars down there at the end. We always need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong, your mess-up man of the morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Designated.
And let's get right on. Let's get right to it, shall we? It is Alex Kwanten. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well,
it's nice to see your studio. I love your 1970 Coronet on the wall.
Thank you. I'm glad that you noticed that. You know, that's a very unique car, and people don't really...
1 year only.
Yeah. And so, the front end of that is so unique. I had to get that. Well, at any rate, so let's talk about what's going on with U.S. News and U.S. News and World Report and the Autos Insight, January to June 2024. And you see, consumers prioritized value-oriented vehicle brands amidst the slowly stabilizing inflation. So let's talk about that. I keep seeing car prices continue to climb rapidly, but people can't afford the prices. $40,000 average price of a car these days, you got to be kidding me. And trying to find a $20,000 car is almost impossible.
Yeah, it's if you haven't bought a car in maybe like 5 to 8 years, which is, sort of the typical span for people who aren't car people.
Yep.
You're going to come back and see that these MSRPs are way more than you thought they would be, and the price of sort of safety features and technology features means that increased MSRPs, but it's sort of a knock-on effect from the pandemic when, if you can only build so many cars, you're going to focus on the high level trims, and that's going to drive up MSRPs and certainly going to drive up transaction prices. And the prices have just never come down, at least not for new cars. The used cars have come down a little bit, but even there, because of the pandemic, there's this sort of still lingering supply issue, which means like people are really focused on value. Now, this report that we did, the U.S. News Insights report, basically it's a snapshot of what's been going on our site. Now, we offer advice to consumers on what car to buy and what we think we try to arm them with the best information we can give them for the purchase, but they're also able to shop for cars on our site, and periodically we want to take a look at what they're doing, and that's what we did with this report. What we found is that a lot of people are shopping for midsize SUVs, or they're ended up shopping a compact SUV, probably because there's just like a price differential there, and they've also found what you can get out of a compact SUV today versus 10 years ago is a lot more space, a lot more features. They're not really having to compromise too much on that for the higher MSRPs. And I think basically this report is, a snapshot of people buying things that they can afford a little bit better and maybe getting a better value for what they're shopping for.
Yeah, well, and certainly, I agree with you on all of that. And I also wanted to contribute this thought, and that was that, there was a big rush to build 3-row SUVs. And so they crammed in 3 rows into a midsize SUV, and it really wasn't the big hit that I think everybody thought it would be. I feel that maybe perhaps now that, who needs 3 rows? Unless you've got 5 kids, chances are you're not going to need 3 rows.
Yeah,
I get the size of the vehicle aspect of it, but still. And I think that, even the small or compact SUV is plenty for most people.
Exactly.
Don't you? Do you find that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the most searched vehicles on the site are like the Hyundai Palisade and the Kia Telluride. They're both 3 rows. And some of the most purchased ones are like the Hyundai Tucson and the Kia Sportage.
Exactly.
People get in the dealership and they decide, actually, if I don't really, really need that extra space, I can save a lot of money and get something that's pretty much just as good, and certainly save fuel and probably have a little more options. A lot of those big three rows, they're a V6 or maybe a turbo 4. There's not a lot of hybrids other than Toyotas. They basically are looking at it. I think maybe people's eyes are bigger than their stomach when they're researking, and then they figure out, I can get a lot for a little bit less.
And the family unit is shrinking. People aren't having 4 and 5 kids. Exactly. Right. It's 2 at most, sometimes 3. That's unusual. We know a couple that's got 4 or 5 that we see every weekly, but they're unusual, and they just went through an exercise of getting a bigger car. The folks that we see at the restaurant. So that's a rarity. But the 3-row, I think, to your point and to Don's, is that we're not seeing them anymore because they're not filling them up. There's a reason for it.
I think that they're sitting on the lots. So what in your estimation, and I know that's not really scientific per se, but your readers contribute to this. What is it that they are buying? Are they buying the compact SUVs? Even though they may search the big 3 rows, we all look at the Buick Electra 225, and then we wind up with the Skylark. We got that scenario. But so what is it that they're buying? I mean, is it the compacts? Is that where everybody's going to? Because I see a lot of them on the streets here in Houston.
Yes, absolutely. That is where people are going. And it's funny, not only compact SUVs, but also compact cars. As manufacturers have beefed up crash structures, they've sort of enlarged models over time. Like what you get out of a compact SUV now, or even a compact car, is almost what you got out of like a midsize SUV in like the late 2000s, mid 2000s. Like when you step into a Hyundai Tucson, it has like 40 plus inches of rear seat legroom. I mean, it's a huge back seat. Relative to something like, let's say, like a Toyota Highlander from maybe 2008, you would find less room in that, and there's even a 3rd row jammed into that, like much smaller Highlander. It's funny though, there are people who really do need that 3rd row space, and we are seeing some interest from them, and they're trying to find the best value any way they can. A lot of people on our site shop for minivans, and there are also a bunch of sort of 3-row jumbo size SUVs, like crossover SUVs, that kind of fill the role of a minivan, but maybe don't have the minivan stigma. So people shopping for Chevy Traverse and maybe Volkswagen Atlas, with really big 3rd rows. And they're trying to just figure out how to economize as best they can. One thing that we have seen, particularly with regard to the minivans, is they're interested in hybrids. You guys were just talking about gas prices. I mean, it's usually going to be a lower cost of ownership if you've got a hybrid and you can just save the fuel that way.
Yep.
And I think people just, they're looking for every possible consumer advantage.
Well, and if you have the right scenario where you live and you're just a daily commuter that drives, 25, 30 miles to work every day like myself, and you've got a place to plug it in during the day, and you got to place it obviously at the house at night, I think that may be something that you could look at now, because the price of electrics are coming down. They're not selling them because typically they've been too expensive. They priced themselves out of the market, but that's certainly an option. I just got through driving the Camry hybrid, and wow, what a nice car. 40 grand is not cheap, but the gas mileage that you get, 600 miles on a tank of gas, the thing gets up and goes like it's got a V8 engine in it. I think it's a really good value if you're looking for a sedan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the money you save in the long term. I mean, most people, we're car people, I think. So, I kind of get bored with my car after a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think most people, they'll keep their car for, 8 to 10 years or even more. The average age of used vehicles now is something like 12.5 years.
Mine was 11.
So,
11.
Yeah. So people are really keeping their cars a long time. And if you buy a hybrid, the savings in the long run just outweigh that higher MSRP up front. I think the main challenge that people are dealing with is just, interest rates are finally coming down, but we're still seeing the after effects of high inflation. As you said, the MSRPs are really high. But yeah, they look at that hybrid and they think, yeah, the value is just there, in the long term. And most of them are pretty pleasant to drive. I will say, for people new to hybrids, sometimes you can sort of be a little surprised by the brake regeneration and things like that. My uncle bought one of those Camry hybrids this year, and he didn't test drive it before he bought it, which you should always go.
Always, yes.
And he had a Genesis G80 that he traded in.
Oh
on
boy!
It, and
What a difference!
A town car, and he was really surprised at the brake regeneration. It took him a good month and a half to like get comfortable with the fact that it suddenly slows at a different rate.
I drove one of those, and you could actually adjust the rate of the brake regeneration because somebody had set it where it was you let your foot off, and it's like you got your foot on the brake, and this particular one lets you ease up on that, and that was acceptable to me.
Yeah, it's just a question of getting used to new things, I think, for most people with hybrids, especially with the plug-in hybrids. I mean, I wanted to just touch again on minivans. We now have two hybrid minivans. The Kia Carnival just launched a hybrid version. The Toyota Sienna is obviously hybrid only, and the Chrysler Pacifica, which is poor Chrysler, keeping it alive with just that minivan. They have a plug-in hybrid, and if you are just commuting around town, as I think a lot of parents are, if you plug it in at night, you're going to save a lot of money in the long term. If you don't plug it in, you buy the hybrid anyway, you'll save some money, but it's not so great. I think it requires just learning a different mindset for some people.
Right, you're not using it the way it was designed.
For me personally, now that they've really kind of perfected the hybrid, the non-plug-in hybrid that charges itself as you go down the street, that's my cup of tea. I don't want to jack with having to plug it in at night and then get 30 miles out of the charge, get it to work, got to plug it in, stay plugged in all day. It's just too big of a pain when you got the hybrid.
You got to find a place to plug it in, even in your own driveway. You got to make sure I got to get close enough that I can plug it in.
Thank you for reminding of that nightmare.
And then once you plug it in and you forget that you're in a hybrid and you pull away and you yank the cord
Well,
out.
it's not going to let you do that. There's all sorts of bells and whistles that go off. But I will tell you that I think that for me personally, if I were going to, somebody asked me, well, what kind of car do you think, what kind of driving style and that sort of thing? I would suggest really looking seriously at the hybrids because you can get a really good hybrid for under $40,000. If it's under 40, I'm in. If it's over 40, I don't know. I got to look at it real close.
Yeah.
It's funny you should mention that. I just wanted to circle back to some of the other insights in the report. Yes, we found that about 17% of the people shopping on the site or researching on the site were looking for hybrids specifically. And I think that number is probably going to increase the next time we do this report, just because people are really interested in just getting better fuel economy. We also saw that I think 8% were shopping for pure EVs. And I think the mixture of the various popular EVs is going to change a little bit when we come to next year.
Agreed, yep. Mm-hmm.
Hyundai and Kia are really coming on strong, and actually one of the overarching themes of our report is that Hyundai and Kia are really taken pretty seriously as top tier rivals to Honda and Toyota now by most consumers.
Agreed.
There's much less of that stigma, and I think the product onslaught from the Koreans is really helping to shape the EV market. The second most searched vehicle in the EV market that we saw was the Kia EV9, which, as we were talking about, is another 3-row SUV. It's the first affordable 3-row electric SUV. There's also the Rivian R1S, the sixth most searched vehicle in our report.
Wow.
And the R1S, the third row, I was just in an R1S like 2 weeks ago. The third row is pretty small. It's great for other things, but it's a very traditional, like, small third row.
Do you find it rather unusual that the Rivian has come on as strong as it has? Because we had all given up on it because they kept teasing it. Here comes the Rivian, la, 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 la. Can they build enough vehicles? And all of a sudden, boom, it's in your face. You start seeing them everywhere now.
Being in Seattle, it's a very EV-centric place. There are a lot of early adopter EV people here. So I started seeing them almost as soon as they came out, and they are chock-a-block. I mean, you can't go outside without seeing one.
Wow.
And I actually, driving it, it's a really good vehicle. There are some quirks. They developed their own infotainment system. There's no hard controls, which is kind of not so great. Perspective.
And how old are you? 90, like us?
Right. I mean, but at the same time, it does a lot of things really, really well, and it was pretty efficient in my test. And we've taken it off road before. It's a great off roader. I think people are overlooking how wonderful an EV can be as an off roader. The particular example I had was fitted with performance street tires, so I didn't take it very far afield.
Too far off, yeah.
But you can really do a lot of things because the precise control of that instant torque really makes it a great adventure vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are really into like the look of it, the feel of it. It feels like a luxury vehicle. It doesn't surprise me that it's been successful. It's just the economies of scale of a startup are really tough.
Alex, where can everybody get this U.S. News and World Report, top trends shaping the auto industry today?
Come to cars.usnews.com. You can search for the report. We can also give you a direct link to give to your viewers. And when they're there, feel free to check out all our research. We've done a lot of research for consumers. We want to give you the best possible ammunition when you go into buying a car. Cars.usnews.com.
Alex, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Much appreciated.
You bet.
U.S. News and World Report, Alex Kwanten is his name. Hey, if you download our app to your phone, you have access to the InWheelTime Car Talk show 24/7. Just look for InWheelTime Car Talk in the App Store, and new daily podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. We've got more of our show coming up right after this break.
Free tacos again at the Tailpipes and Tacos pre-holiday cruise-in. It's been a while, but the popular Tailpipes and Tacos cruise-in returns to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, Saturday, November 16th. Bring a new unwrapped toy and get a free breakfast taco. Toys will be donated to Toys for Tots and Houston Children's Charity. Get to the best and one of the last cruise-ins of the year. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. Cruise in, donate a new unwrapped toy, and grab a free Lupi Tortilla breakfast taco. Tailpipes and Tacos only happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, 703 West Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of the Katy Freeway. It's the end of the year car show season, and what better way to celebrate than with a free taco and camaraderie at Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show will be there too. Bring a toy, get a free Lupi taco, and feel good about heading into the holiday season at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Is your car ready for that all-important holiday road trip? Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday, December 7th, and you're invited. Bring your car, truck, or SUV and find out what it'll take to get that thing looking new again. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, camera installs, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Join the Car Social Saturday, December 7th, 9 to noon. Talk to other owners and see how good your car can look on the road trip to Aunt Mary's. She'll want that good-looking ride in her driveway, I promise. Put it on your calendar. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Holiday Car Social and Road Trip Get Ready. Saturday, December 7th, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show will be there too. We'll see you then.
We continue the InWheelTime Fall Tour starting next week, and we'll be at the fabulous Hemi Hideout in Brookshire. That's followed by Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, and we'll visit Gulf Coast Auto Shield on December 7th. Be sure and stop by and say hello when you're there. All right, time now for the cruise-in and events calendars, Jeffrey.
You betcha. We're going out to next Saturday and Sunday and all that good stuff. You've got November 10th, the second annual Veterans Car Show that's going on out there. It's the second annual Veterans Card, like I said, I lost my place. November 10th in Fulshear, Texas. How about that? The family-friendly event welcomes car enthusiasts to enjoy a display of great cars, delicious food. Participants can park and show off their vehicles without any fees. There's no entries or anything, but they're going to be giving away trophies for Best Show, People's Choice Awards, and things of that nature. They got food trucks and music and all that stuff. That's at 6520 Brookshire Fulshear Road in Fulshear, Texas, November 10th from 2 to 5 p.m. Then on Monday, November 11th, Veterans Day, the car show at Chick-fil-A in Fairmont Parkway. Mike, I know you're a big Chick-fil-A fan.
Yeah, buddy.
Car enthusiasts are invited to the car show at Fairmont Parkway. That's at 5104 Fairmont Parkway in Pasadena, Texas, November 11th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. You've got a lot of stuff going on there, 8-count meal sandwiches and things of that nature. A panel of judges will select the winner. You can get more information at the CFA Pasadena Car Shows and Cows event registration. You got to register to
Cars
go
and Cows?
Cars and Cows, that's what they said. So go out there, check it out. It's for Veterans
Got to
Day.
remember, it's Pasadena.
Yep. Veterans Day. We love our veterans. Also, the Hemi Hideout, which Don's been talking about. We got commercials, tailpipes and tacos, and I challenge everybody at Tailpipes and Tacos. You bring in a toy and you get a taco. Unwrapped. Bring 10 toys and get 10 tacos. What's wrong with that? They're going to make them for you.
It's going to be great.
If you're hungry, you can give them to us. We'll eat them. And then, of course, the Gulf Coast Auto Shield Social coming up as well.
One thing I would like to mention, if I could steal a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You just did. Go
if
ahead.
you have not voted, everybody needs to go vote. Even if you're voting for the wrong person, everybody needs to go vote. Not everybody can vote in the world, and we can, and you need to take advantage of that privilege.
You betcha. And if you've already voted, take someone that hasn't.
That's right. Or vote again if you're in Chicago.
Or, yeah, could be.
Cadillac.
Or if you're dead.
Cadillac will give its Lyriq midsize electric crossover a performance boost next year. General Motors luxury brand said October 29th that the Lyriq will get a high-performance variant under the V-Series sub-brand, arriving in early 2025 as a 26 model. Cadillac did not provide details about the Lyriq's V, but said in an email that it's a stunning technical achievement. Boy.
I'm tearing up.
The Lyriq will be the first Cadillac electric vehicle to receive a V-Series option. V-Series first debuted on the racetrack in March 2004 and entered production in the CTS-V sedan livery. It also has been offered on the gasoline-powered CT4 and CT5 sedans, including Blackwing variants, and the Escalade full-size SUV. In August, Cadillac revealed the Opulent Velocity concept. Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
Opulent Velocity concept at the Monterey Car Week in California. It was designed to envision how an EV could encapsulate the high performance, technology, and luxury of the V-Series line. Brand designers said engineers, Opulent Velocity concept allows Cadillac to study future electric propulsion systems, autonomous technology, and the best ways to deliver driving information at high speeds, Jeff. Cadillac did not confirm whether any elements of the Opulent Velocity concept will appear in the production version of the Lyriq V, adding that more information will come early next year. They don't make the Opulent Velocity just to have it sit there and look pretty.
No.
I guarantee you that, sir, is going to be on the new V.
And if Cadillac wants to send me one, I'll give them a great review. Just send it.
Whether it's good or not.
I know, just send it.
Let's see. I got a little short piece of time here that I thought that I would bash somebody. Stellantis' third quarter.
There you go. Let's start with them.
Ding, ding, ding.
Stellantis' third quarter revenues slumped 27% as the automaker's shipments declined in most of its major markets. Net revenue fell to $35.8 billion, Stellantis said, missing analyst projections for better results. Shipments were down in regions including Europe and North America, with the companies working to shrink bloated inventory. Stellantis said has been grappling with product recalls and shrinking market share in the U.S. after they stopped building everything that made them money and sold on their dealership. What?
They had a waiting list on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
We're still waiting.
Don't build that anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
what do all these people giving us money think they're doing?
Yeah. Earlier this month,
Dang it.
the owner of the Jeep and Fiat brands reported declining third-quarter vehicle shipments led by a 36% drop in key North American markets. Stellantis said it reduced its U.S. dealer inventories by more than 80,000 units in the 4 months through October. I'm sure that makes every dealer really, really happy.
I will say, I got to see the new Challenger at the Texas State Fair that they had. Beautiful car.
Yeah.
Till you open the hood. There's no Hellcat. If they had a Hellcat in that car, they have a recording for the audio, for the exhaust that you can hear. Put a Hellcat in it, it'll sell like hotcakes. It's a beautiful car. It really is.
Was Kimberly hiding?
No, she was there.
She was there.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
but was she hiding?
No.
Is it Kimberly Schultz?
Yeah, Kimberly Schultz.
Yeah, she was out there in the middle of it.
We love Kimberly, but boy, I'd hate to be the PR person now with them. All right. Time now for a quick break. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address, info@inwheeltime.com. Back in a minute.
The holidays are upon us, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories is your local one-stop for the auto enthusiast on your gift list. Pro-Am Auto has been serving Houston since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am was one of the very first distributors in the U.S. for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier shopping corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse and showroom with installation and service bays. Pro-Am reaches a worldwide audience through ProAmAuto.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. Holiday gift giving is alive and well at Pro-Am Auto. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. The fabulous Hemi Hideout is having an open house, and you're invited. Mark your calendar for Saturday, November 9th, 10:30 to 12:30, and make a reservation today for a 2-hour opportunity to see an eye-popping tribute to American muscle cars, a collection of neon signs that'll dazzle, all in a venue like no other in the country. Entry to this rare Hemi Hideout open house is by reservation only, 713-825-2555. The $10 cash donation per person is matched and given to Brookshire Charities. See you November 9th at the Hemi Hideout, and InWheelTime will be there too.
Hey, Houston, it's back! America's greatest hot rod tradition is Thanksgiving weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama at the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 days of hot rods, customs, trucks, and muscle cars. Don't miss the Evel Knievel tribute. The Megamorph. Transforming Robot Car. Lowrider Showcase. Meet Catherine Bach from Dukes of Hazzard. Hip-hop legend Flava Flav. Farm Truck and Asian from Street Outlaws. Autorama. Thanksgiving weekend. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com for more info.
Well, that's all for this week's InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Be sure and check out our website, InWheelTime.com. Jot us a note next time you're online. Our address is info@InWheelTime.com.
Yippers.
We like car pics. Send us some of your car with a description and any info you want to include, and we'll feature it on a future show. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the InWheelTime Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeart. Saying that, I'm sorry. On the InWheelTime app. Load it down today. If you haven't already, grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. Look for us on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The InWheelTime video technical director is We Need More Jeff Zekins.
Yes.
For booking agents, video editor, and people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us next week when we'll be at the fabulous Hemi Hideout in Brookshire, Texas. Our live broadcast runs from 10 to 1 Central Time on all of our InWheelTime Car Talk outlets. Be safe out there. Please get out and vote on Tuesday. Take a neighbor or a friend along with you. Have yourself a great week. We'll see you next week.